And I think we've started recording, so let's start the episode in 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Binding of Moonpir Boston Rebirth. I almost didn't think I was going to get it. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me, as always, is Moonpir.
Hello.
Let's just dive into it. How are your adventures in the basement going this past week?
Well, not great, shall we say?
It was sort of a rough week for both of us.
Yeah. I mean, you saw some of my daily runs, like, I'm dying on the first floor.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty bad. But I think I'm also at, like, my streak right now says minus 62. It says
I've
it
been there
for
before.
a very... It does say it for a very important reason, though, which is I have played the crap out of greed mode this week.
Okay.
You mentioning it to me how I'm basically going to have to play it eventually. So I'm going through and I'm trying to get the greed mode tick for everyone I have unlocked so far.
Mm-hmm.
And I have done that with everyone I've unlocked. I think I'm still missing 2, you said.
Yeah.
I have the greed mode tick on everybody except for Blue Baby. Oh, Lord. That's so difficult.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
He is... Like, I sent you a tweet earlier this week, for those who might have seen it. I said, for the first time, I'm feeling really frustrated at the game.
Yeah.
That was why.
I mean, it's sort of... Nope, go ahead.
Go ahead. Nope, you first.
It's sort of funny, because we got a daily this week where it was Blue Baby. I don't even remember where it was going to, because we both died very quickly. But the very first item we picked up was the relic. And the crazy thing about Blue Baby in greed mode is if you can pick up the relic first, I don't know how many times you have to re-roll that those runs to get that to happen, but each wave of greed mode counts as a room. So basically every couple of waves you'll be getting a spirit heart anyways. So it's incredibly powerful, but I mean the chances of that happening is pretty low.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of times, like a couple of those minuses that I have on my streak list is because I literally rolled in. It's like, you're going to give me dinner as the first item, go away, I'm re-rolling.
Yeah, exactly. There's just no reason.
There's no way in... It's just not worth having a health item as one of those first items because it makes no difference for Baby.
Yeah.
I did have like 2 or 3 super good runs with them. I got all the way up to Ultra Greed and then got thwomped all over the place by Ultra Greed.
Yeah.
Due to one reason or another. I just struggle with DPS because it's like, with normal people, it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter about the DPS because I've got the heart where I can soak up the damage. Whereas that with Blue Baby, it's all about needing the DPS to be able to clear those rooms quickly because you don't want to be losing health, but at the same time you need the DPS and the health, and it just becomes a juggling nightmare.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I've actually unlocked the relic yet. I might have to look into my unlocks list and see, because I know what it is. It's the blue cross, isn't it?
Yeah, I just looked at the unlock. You unlock it by beating Isaac with Maggie, sorry. So you maybe
that actually I might have unlocked that like this week. I haven't written it on my unlock list. Oh no, I know what it was. I went a different way. But anyway, yes, I played greed mode a whole bunch and I discovered something. I went into hard mode as Isaac and I thought, let's give this a run, see what happens.
Yeah.
Didn't realize all of the little things on the post-it note change and have red marks on them when you do them in hard mode, which means I have to do them all in hard mode as well as normal mode.
Yeah, you had the same... I think a lot of people have, including me, have that same thing where it's like, hard mode, this will be fine, then you finish it and it's like, why does that have a red outline? Oh my god, I'm only halfway done. Oh god.
Yep, that is pretty much exactly how I responded. I went in and I actually... On hard mode, I did something different. I did the sacrifices. I got my golden key. I made it to the chest.
Nice.
I opened the big door right in front of the chest and I was like, ooh, what's this? Let's go in and find out before I explore.
Yeah.
I went in. There is... What's his name? Wait, I've got it written down here.
Satan.
Mega Satan.
Yeah. And not just regular Satan, but Mega Satan.
I was really lucky because I happened to be on a massively overpowered run at that time.
Oh, good.
So I basically went in there and killed him and got his tick for Isaac, his mark on the post-it note, and did it on hard mode too.
Whew.
So that was great, and that's what made me realize, oh no, everything's got red outlines now. This is not good.
Yeah, I feel like
So-
since you've already done that on hard with one character, I think you sort of know what you're in for. Because the hard part about Mega Satan is the boss itself isn't hard. It's that it's also a boss rush alongside it, and that's nasty.
Yep. You do a bunch of damage, it's like, here you go, have 2 more bosses.
Yeah.
Here's a bunch of damage, have 2 more bosses.
Here's 4 more bosses. Just like, please no.
Yes. I was actually kind of lucky because that run was the run where I got Brimstone and Spoonbender.
Oh wow.
Oh
yeah, you should send me that screenshot.
The discussion. Yeah, we had the discussion over Twitter because I also found the missing poster in that run, and I was like, do I sacrifice my really powerful hard run to unlock this character you told me about, or do I not?
Yeah,
I decided not to, and I'm kind of glad I didn't.
That's a good call, because you do actually have to die with the poster in hand. So it's one of those things where you look at the run and you're like, I'll run into this poster later. It'll be one of those runs where like you run into it on the 2nd floor and it's just not going well, and you find a sacrifice room and you're like, okay, let's just do this. There's nothing happening with this run.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just had to make the decision because I tweeted you and I had it paused, and I was like, I don't know.
Oh, I do.
And then I ended up just, going for it because I was like, no, I'm not going to get such a powerful combo again at any point soon, so I'm just going to keep it as is.
Yeah.
I just wanted to run over again because I think I asked you this in the main show. Some pills are permanent, some pills aren't. Am I correct in my thoughts that stuff like look up, range up, health up, they're all permanent?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because it's one of those things where I'd use it, it'd be like, oh, you got range up. And then it seems like my range didn't go up.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's one of those like 0.5 ticks or something, like you were saying, like it only goes up by a little bit.
Yeah, and the hard part about range too, unlike something like tears and damage and speed, range seems like it sort of has it's sort of the returns on it aren't super great. Like if you have really terrible range and you get a range up pill, you're like, this is so much better. But if you're already shooting about more than halfway across the screen, you get a range up and you're like, cool, I what did that do?
Yeah.
The one you really want is tears up until you hit the tears cap, because that's just a free DPS upgrade.
Yeah, that's my big thing, is like it's damage up and range and tears up are the 2 things which I'm always praying for whenever I get pills.
Yeah.
I have kind of got into, I mean, it's a strange phrase to use, but I have kind of got into this habit of builds. It's like if I find like something where it's like I get the reusable card generator.
Yep.
And it's like, well, this is good. And then I find the Ace of Spades, the trinket, not the actual, not any other thing, but the thing that goes in your bottom left corner.
Oh, right, yeah, the card, yeah. Oh, what is that called?
Yeah. But it's like,
oh, it is called Ace of Spades,
I've gotten into the habit of finding stuff like that and trying to, I hate corporate speak, but I'm trying to synergize the items I carry.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the
like
word
if
that
I see
most of us use, is actually synergize. Like these items have synergy with these other ones, where it's like Brimstone Spoonbender is actually a really great one, because you don't have to worry about aiming as much anymore, because the Brimstone laser just sort of wiggles towards wherever it needs to go.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite visual effects as well, is when you have that and it's a purple beam and it just goes woo, 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 across the screen.
Yeah, imagine if you get Brimstone plus Ludovico plus Spoonbender. It's this ring that will shoot, like, it will bend off of itself to go find enemies and then come back into a ring.
That's really kind of awesome.
It's stupid powerful. It's really great.
Yeah. Like I did so much greed mode. I'm now up to like I think 350 coins in greed mode though,
Wow.
because I literally just went through and did it with every single character I didn't have it with.
Yeah.
I just went through and I was like, I will play as this person until I have completed greed mode, and I will do my best to take as many coins as I can to the end.
Yep.
So it usually ends up working out okay. Like I said, I'm up to 350, and I think I don't know how many characters I've got, but I've made it to the end like 7 or 8 times.
Yeah. That's really
You
good.
know, I'm focusing. It's like it's a weird balance because I get myself to a point where I feel, okay, now I'm really powerful. I'm saving every single penny I have from this point on.
Yeah.
And I will go into that last room with as many pennies as I can, because I keep forgetting you take damage from any of the greeds and they steal your money from you.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
a bunch of punks.
Well, it's that horrible thing too where like you get halfway through a greed run and you're like, okay, I have like 60 coins. I'm super powerful. I'm not going to buy anything else. I promise. I'll buy a key here and there. I'll check out what's in the item room. Sure. And then next floor you see something really good and you're like, all right, I'm going to buy it. And like you buy that and something else comes up and you're like, oh, I'm going to buy that one too. And you end up at greed with like 5 coins. You're like, damn it.
Yep. That actually happened to me with, I think, my Maggie run, because I think Chaos showed up, and then the mini Maggie, whatever it's called, like the little Mr. Dolly,
Mr.
the
Dolly,
one that looks like Mom,
I like that one a lot.
like that showed up as well. I was like, I'm taking those two. I'm taking Chaos, and then I'm taking that any time I
Yeah,
see them
hands
there
down.
get taken. And then I literally got to greed and had like 10 coins. So I was like, oh.
Well, at least you beat it.
Yeah, that's the important thing. In the process of doing so, my unlocks were Lost Baby, Little Chest, Crybaby, Sensor, Black Feather, Lusty Tears, D4, Magdalene's Bow, and something icky.
Okay.
About 3/4 of them were from greed mode. I know Magdalene's Bow and something icky, I think, were both from doing bosses with Magdalene.
Yeah.
I haven't bumped into them yet, but the only one I've bumped into out of that list, I think, actually is Little Chest, which is cool because it's like the little cross, and it's like any companion that just drops stuff after you do a room.
Yeah, I like Little Chest. It's not widely regarded as being super helpful, but it's one of those items I like because it doesn't really have a downside. It doesn't drop anything bad. It just drops random stuff. Like it could even drop trinkets.
Yeah. I did run into an interesting combo on one of my Blue Baby runs, and that was the Dark Bum.
Yeah.
I was trying to go for, I think I was trying to go and beat the chest or the dark room. I can't remember, the lamb and what's the other one's name?
Blue Baby.
Oh yeah, I was trying to beat those with Blue Baby.
Right.
And I ended up with Little Chad and Dark Bum.
Oh, that's such a good combo.
Yes, because it was every room I cleared, I was getting a heart drop from Little Chad, and then Dark Bum would go over and
Yeah.
and then give me a blue heart. So I was like, yep, I'll take that.
Yeah, that's really good.
I'm probably gonna back off of greed mode this week. I'm probably gonna try and do some more of the challenges, because it's at this point, like I said, like I tweeted about being frustrated. It was because of greed mode, specifically with Blue Baby, and it was just smashing my head against the wall made me a little bit impatient. And then in doing that, then I go in and play the daily challenge. I'm like, I gotta get boss rush, gotta get boss rush, gotta get boss rush. It's the only chance I've got to get close to boss to the score. And then I die on the first floor because I'm an idiot.
Well, you saw that tweet that I sent you where, you and I have a rivalry going, a friendly competition going. But there's a guy that's on my friends list that, if I am like 13 on the rankings, he's 3. If I'm 50, he's 14. It's all, no matter what, I'm always like, this guy got like 10,000 more points than I did. I got 40,000 points. This is crazy.
Yeah, now you know how I feel.
I know. It's he's been haunting me for, I think I added him to my friends list over a year ago, and every single day he's always better than I am. It's like,
oh,
man.
jeez. But yeah, I mean, some of the modes, the daily challenges actually this week, something we both agreed to talk about was Two of the daily challenges I think were absolutely terrible. Like just pain in the backside.
Real
this run is
mean.
not good for you. Yes.
Yeah.
Kicking sand in your face when you're in the basement.
Yeah.
But the overpowered one, the Serpent's Kiss. This is something we said to talk about.
Yeah, Serpent's Kiss is one of my favorite items is another one that I feel like most people look at and go, yeah, it's fine. But basically, a Serpent's Kiss you do poison contact damage, which is a lot less important than the other stuff. But you also occasionally do a poison shot, and that, like all the other occasional stuff, is ruled by your luck. But most importantly, when you poison an enemy, when they die, they have a chance of dropping a black heart, and that over a run is incredibly good, especially on this one daily where it was the very first item room item. It's like, okay,
Yes.
well, I've got to try real hard to lose this one. I think I lost that one. But that was, like Moon said, a lot of these dailies this week were just you're running into two champion sloths at once in a small room and they trap you and you're dead. Or you don't get any damage, you're just getting mom's range items for the first 4 floors. It's like, well, I don't need this.
Bless you.
Thank you. Just a lot of those dailies where it's just like, I can't do anything with this. Like, I can't make lemonade out of these lemons because these lemons blew up on me.
Yeah, that's how I felt. Was that today? Yeah, today's was Kane, and Kane's one of my favorite characters. It is Kane, isn't it? Eye patch guy.
Yes.
Like
the
I
only person
love
I
playing
get
as
the
Kane.
name wrong is Judas, because I think he's the one that has the Fez on in his picture, and I always just call him Fez.
I think he's actually someone I don't have yet. I'm not sure though.
Oh, Kane?
Judas. I've got Kane. Kane, I love.
Let's see what
I
Judas's
just love playing as
unlock
Kane
is.
because he's got the luck items, and I like increasing my luck. Also, all of a sudden, randomly, I'm just picking up coins and getting luck up. Is this some unlock that I've missed at some point?
Yeah, I think it's called Lucky Pennies, if I remember correctly. It doesn't make a big fanfare when it happens, if I remember. Judas is unlocked after beating Satan for the first time.
Okay, so yes, I do have Judas.
Yeah, you definitely have him. You probably have Cain too. What's his unlock?
Yeah, I've definitely got Kane.
Yeah.
I'm just looking back through my notes to try and figure out if I've written down the Lucky Pennies thing unlocked at any point, but yeah, actually, that's something I was terrible at this week, actually. I was terrible at writing down what I unlocked from the greed machine, which it probably came from that then, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it might.
But yeah, I actually really like it when you're running around, you pick up a bunch of coins, like, look up. Yeah.
Well, and I think because your luck is increasing, I think you have increased chances to get lucky coins.
To find that.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it's just this exponential.
It's an exponential increase of luck, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I actually had it once where I found one of the runs I had a super secret room, which was the weird purple rooms.
Mm-hmm.
When you go in and it's like the dark room kind of layout. I think it's the dark room where it's like all spacey.
Yeah.
And in there I had 4 abundances, and then the next room after that was greed. And then I put greed down, and I was just like abundance, 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 abundance,
yeah.
and literally the entire floor was covered in pennies. And then as I went through it all, it would just look up, 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 look up. It's like, well, I guess I'm very lucky now.
Man, that's so good.
But yeah, I mean, I probably need to focus back down on the challenges again now. But yeah, I feel like I'm making progress, and I mean, you can be the judge of it, but over the past 3 weeks, I feel like I've made giant strides forwards. When we first started talking about it on the show, it's like, okay, the progress is slow, but now, because I feel like I'm getting a better handle on the actual, like I said, like we talked about at the start of it, doing more with less, because I feel like I'm getting better at doing that. It feels like, okay, I've gone from what do I do next to here's me checking off all of the boxes on as many people as I can. The only one I've really done decent amount with so far is Isaac, and I think that's mostly just because the D6 is OP as hell.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because I think I had the same feeling where I was like, I'm doing really great. Let's start checking off hard mode stuff, and the game smacks you in the face to the floor immediately. Where it's like, yeah, you think you're doing pretty well? Well, here's hard mode. And there was a bug originally when Binding of Isaac Rebirth was out on PS4, and it didn't get patched until Afterbirth, which was hard mode on PS4 had drastically decreased coin, bomb, and health drops. So like it was like playing Don't Starve, where it's like, I'm not gonna get anything, so everything I get is 100% precious. So you can't get hit, you can't waste a coin, you can't do any of that. So that was no fun. Thankfully, it's fixed.
that doesn't sound like fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we've said it before. We'll say it again. Like, I am amazed at the amount of the depth that this thing goes into.
Yeah.
Every time I do something, it's got that really fantastic gameplay loop of you set yourself a goal. Once you start to understand things a bit more, you set yourself a goal, and you either fail 66 times at greed mode as Blue Baby,
right.
or you succeed in your goal of, I don't know, going and beating Isaac with Magdalene.
Right.
You do that, and then it's, I just unlocked a little item for myself there by doing that. That's really cool. I set myself a goal, I get rewarded. I set myself a different goal, I get rewarded.
Right.
I set myself a third goal, I lose 70 times on greed mode as Blue Baby. I really don't like greed mode with Blue Baby.
It's so hard.
It is.
I will make you feel better, though. It's definitely not the hardest.
That doesn't make me feel better. That makes me feel worse.
Binding of Isaac.
Because
there's always a character that's more BS. Like that's the Binding of Isaac secret.
I think the character you're talking about, like we discussed the missing poster. I think I have got him at some point, but I got him in a daily challenge.
Yeah,
because he isn't unlocked. And I got him to appear, the little white floaty ghost thing.
Yep.
I got him to appear. I haven't unlocked him yet because, like I said, the only other time I've run into the missing poster was in my daily run.
Right.
Not in my daily run, in my hard run. But yeah, progress is slowed down considerably this week. Thank you, Blue Baby Greed Mode. I hate you so much.
You gotta check out that post-it note, though. That's the rough
part.
I
do.
So two things that came up that I was thinking of just to wrap up the show as maybe homework, I guess.
Okay.
Two things. I forgot to mention. There's when you go into the arcade, whenever it spawns. Have you been going in there where you pay a?
Yeah, I always go in there. Yeah.
There should be. There's usually 1 to 3 machines. There's the slot machine. You should be playing that pretty often, along with the shell game.
I did unlock something yesterday, I think, by blowing up yet another slot machine, because I always, if I have the coins, I spend every coin I have in the slot machines.
Perfect.
And I did unlock something by playing the slot machine, but I forgot to write it down.
Probably.
I've already got that one before. It's something else.
Okay.
Or was it from playing the shell game?
If it was the one from shell game, then you are way ahead of the curve. Was that counterfeit penny that I unlocked?
Yes.
Perfect. That's the thing.
One of my favorite items that ever exists.
Yeah.
Because it's to me that every now and again I'll get double.
Yeah, counterfeit penny is real good, and that's the one most people don't get because the shell game is kind of boring. There's 2 items you can get from it. One is counterfeit penny, and the other one is Skatole. I don't know if you've gotten that one yet.
I don't know about Skatole.
It's like the icon is like a picture of a fly with a little heart on top of it. If not, then
I've got him. Yeah, I have him. He like he drops it and then he disappears and it spawns in front of you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a pedestal item. Yeah,
Yep.
I've got that one.
Perfect. The other thing is you were mentioning the Jera rune, which duplicates or doubles the number of things on the ground in a room. The thing that I would encourage you to try at some point is, I think we just lost our Skype connection here for a minute.
We did for a second.
We're back. The thing to remember about Jera is it doubles everything in the room. If you want some...
I have been taking advantage of playing the slot machine till my money runs out. And if I have a Jera nearby, I run and get that and then just be like, double!
Yeah. For me, the most fun thing to do is to bring it to the chest and use it in that very first room. It doubles golden chests, too.
What?
Yeah. Try that whenever you get a Jera rune next time.
I
Carry
did not
it
know.
all the way with you. And instead of getting 4 items right away in the chest, you'll get 8. They'll probably all be bad, but, it's something fun to do when you find one.
That's a little bit insane.
And if you want more runes, the way you do that is by beating challenges.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I should know that because I have got, bit by bit, I've got more runes.
Yeah.
Really quick before we close out the show finally, Skewed One in Discord says, what's the most insanely OP build you can remember? His currently is quad shot Brimstone coupled with 99 Bomber Boy sad bombs. I think it almost crashed my Switch.
Yeah, wow. That's going to be hard to beat. I might actually have had one that was really good on today's daily, this April 30th. I had Tractor Beam, Poison Shots, and Quad Shot. But because normally with Quad Shot it just spreads out, but with Tractor Beam, all 4 of them were stacked on top of each other. That was really great.
Wow. I think I can't name mine, but my Brimstone and Bendy Spoon was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I made the mistake one day because I still don't know the dice rooms, but we can probably put that down for next week's show. But I went into a dice room, the one that re-rolls you, I think it does. Yep. It changes everything that you've got. And I had a powerful run. I re-rolled, instantly regretted it until I went into the next room and fired because it looked like I had Brimstone coming out of all 4 angles of me.
Awesome.
So it came out of top, left, right sides, and I had Bendy Spoon as well.
Oh, wow.
So I couldn't have told you what it was at the time, but now I know it was definitely Brimstone and Bendy Spoon, except I was firing it in 4 directions.
Yeah, it's probably also Loki's Horn and really high luck. Because Loki's Horns has a chance of shooting out of all 4 angles.
Jeez. But yeah, that's probably mine.
I think for me, probably one of the most overpowered builds I ever had was I had Cancer, so I broke the tier cap, and I had Guppy, and it's just one of those things where I had such a high rate of fire. I think I had almost 0, that Guppy was just spawning this non-stop stream of flies every time I went into a room. And if anything managed to live, then I was just spawning more flies. I had this huge, thick ring of flies around me. Ah, it was so cool.
I love that effect as well, by the way. When you get a really good ring of flies, and it's just like a little, like, Saturn's rings around you, and then all of a sudden you go into a room and everything dies. Yeah. It's so good.
Oh, man. Well, that's all of our Binding of Isaac fun for this past week. I'm really hoping that next week's dailies are a little more kind, because I'd like to have fun with them again. Well, thank you as always, Moon, for joining me in the Adventures in the Basement.
Thank you again for inviting me to your basement.
Still weird. And we'll continue to go deeper next week.
See ya.
All right, thank you very much, everyone, for watching the video. Bye.